Hi. I'm sitting outside the post office. I just finished. Oh yeah, you maybe saw the video right before this. I'm probably gonna splice them together. Just finished filling out customs forms. Thank you to my new fans in Japan, France, Paris, one of my favorite places, and Italy. I don't know the particular town in Japan or in Italy, and I've never been to Japan, but I have been to Italy for a couple days when I was much younger, studying in London, and we got to go on a semester break, and yeah. I loved Venice. I know that's probably cliche, but I did. I like water towns. My experience in Rome wasn't the greatest, but that was personal. It was a beautiful city. I just had a couple negative experiences there, but I actually had a really great experience in Rome too. We went on like a little food hopping kind of adventure on our one night there. But I really let down a friend of mine, Kent, because we didn't get up in time to get to the Vatican, and that was like his one dream. And my bad timing and not caring about the Vatican at that point in my life. Well, I wasn't raised Catholic. Yeah, so I didn't get us there in time. We got to see Notre Dame in Paris. That was cool. Okay. Yeah, so sorry, Kent. That was bad friend vibes. Not considerate. It's at a very weird point in my life at that time. It was very wild. Sometimes wildness is a negative, but sometimes it'll take you to like 15 countries. So while I was studying in London, I traveled to Scotland by myself. I traveled to Ireland by myself. I like pretended I was a Trinity College student and like met a bunch of locals and went out drinking with them before I spoke. So before they even knew I was an American, because I didn't speak because I just wanted to blend in. It was like a what do you call it? Orientation day for new students. So I just acted like I was a student. I was 21 at the time. Whatever. And I look young. I've always looked young. Okay. Why does that sound bad? Well, I just want to make up a song to kind of honor this moment because, it's hard. I wanna believe in myself and say, of course I'll have more international fans someday, but what do I know? Maybe I won't. Like, what if this is it? Can this be enough? I don't know. It's such a cool feeling to put music out in the world in a way that's so low-key and simple, and you like recorded it at home, and then Bandcamp put it on the front page again. It's the same album that they put on the front page in 2017, and then I did a remix, and then that ended up on Bandcamp's New and Notable, which just makes me feel like really fortunate, really blessed, like something out there is trying to take these sensitive sad girl flying songs, lullaby pop music, I don't know what it's called, freak folk, I guess, bedroom pop, but my brother didn't know that genre, and so he was like, bedroom pop, that sounds weird. Which, yeah, if you don't know what bedroom pop means, I realize that kind of sounds funny. Okay, hold on. Sorry if this is annoying. Alright, this says it's in tune, but it just doesn't sound good to me today. This yellow one's always a little funky. So I have a yellow ukulele. That one I think was my second. I won't try to remember what order I bought them in. I have a lavender one. That was my second, actually. I have a like plain wood one that I've doodled all over. That was my first. So that one, then lavender, then I think this guy, yellow one. Then I think a baby blue one was Brian. I know that we bought that at a small music store in Petoskey. Is that all except for the newest one? I think so. I really want a pink one. Oh my gosh. That's my next dream. My tummy's grumbling. All I've had today is coffee. I do really need to go mail these because then I have to call my sister. I have a lot going on today, and then I have to teach piano and songwriting and stuff with all my private students tonight. I have a very busy week, and I have a big weekend coming up ahead, so I have to stay really organized, really on track. I have to take my car in for a tune-up because of some things coming up. We're going kayaking one more time. I have so much to do to get ready for another thing coming up, which I'm not going to get into right now. Okay, I'm just writing a song. I'm going to take off my Josiah bracelet because I think it's going to bump my ukulele. All right. Light in the air in this place, in my skin, in my hair, in my place, in the dark of my mind, in the dark of my timeline, which I can't see, but I know it's there for me, like a song, like a different story. And now go there some way, somehow I can see myself like a beam or a beacon of light in the night for you. 'Cause we are all coming true, like a poem or play, like a story we couldn't have written, 'cause we wouldn't know what to say. If we wrote it all down, we'd be scared, we'd be too scared to open our mouths and sing a new song when it's time for a change, to sing a new song or to be the version of strange we were meant to be, here for each other, 'cause we're needed, my sister, we're needed, my brother. We're learning to use these fragile little voices in the dark behind our eyes, like a spark, making fire that's needed to stay warm, like a controlled burn, like controlling a fire. We keep flying higher and higher. We keep learning new songs, and the play's getting long, and our wings keep getting tired from all this flying and adventuring and rising above the fire, and we can bloom feel kind of bruised to learn to say the truth of what's true for me. It's not what's true for you. It makes me feel so afraid to be turned away from what's true for me. Might not be what's true for you. It makes me so afraid. Makes me so dang afraid to be myself here. Makes me so afraid here. Makes me so afraid to speak, so afraid to speak, so afraid to be, so afraid to be, so afraid to speak, so afraid to speak, so afraid to be. So afraid, but I'm becoming afraid to be afraid. I'm becoming scared to lose my life to fear. I'm becoming more afraid of fear itself. I'm becoming more afraid of loss of health and loss of time and loss of things I could have done with my life, but fear got in the way, and I'm learning to be okay with not being okay, and I'm learning to be me, even though it's not what you need. I'm learning to be me, even though it's not what some people wanted me to be. Some people wanted me to be. Some people wanted me to be a brand, to be a kind of success, and to conquer this land, and to be some kind of great thing in the sky in their minds. But I'm in the sky of my own mind, and I don't need your mind. I don't need your time. I don't need your view if I'm not like you. I don't want your time. I don't want your view if I'm not like you. Well, I do. I still do want it. I do, but I spend all these years trying to explain. All these years trying to change you to my team, to help you understand what it means to be me, even if that's different than what it means to be you. I spend all this time trying to break through, trying to get through, trying to get through. I'm not the same as you. I will never be the same as you. And you'll never be like me. And that's okay. And that's okay with me, even if it's not with you. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. I can finally say it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I love you either way. I just wrote an Instagram post about finding your people. It was based on that meme or image that was floating around about ancestral mathematics and how we're built from all these, thousands and thousands of ancestors, tens of thousands, but like even if you just go back 10 generations, how many people created you. And then I reflected on it further on my Instagram about how also from this point of light, from this moment right now, we're also, that may be like the mountain we stand on, all the people that made us through their lived experience And we're like right there at that point, that culminating point. But also from that same point, we are like, I might be the invention of an entirely new thing, and you might be the invention of you are the invention of an entirely new thing, and I'm the invention of an entirely new thing. And I read somewhere long ago, but most of us are more afraid of our own power than we are of our own powerlessness, because that is power. To be at that point, all of that work, all of that culminating in you right now, it's like a dot. It's a moment in time. And from this moment in time, you have the choice to say something loving or say something hateful. You have the choice to do something loving or do something hateful. And like, you can't hate. You can't conquer hate with more hate. You can't be like, I hate them for hating. That's hate. Now you are hateful too. And I'm not saying that you don't have a righteous point. I'm sure you do, but like, and I'm sure I do whenever I was doing that in my own past, whenever I was constantly obsessed with the things that I didn't like. Other people putting me down, or other people doing things I didn't understand or believe in that made me feel small, and I hated that. So that means I was trapped in my own body and mind hating things. So let's push that aside. Because all of that was information. And if people were doing things that I didn't like, I didn't have to be someone who spent my life focused on things I don't like. I could literally just if this is my focus, I can literally just be like you can't heal it by staring at it. That's what I've learned. You can look at it from time to time, which I've done recently in some videos in the last week, even healing some trauma stuff from childhood. And like, again, not my mom, dad, brother, sister, like, standard family stuff, but nothing. Like, I love those 4 people and all of their children. Like, we are good. And I'm grateful for that, because I didn't always understand. That's a whole other topic. Anyway, that's that. But I'm saying, like, right now in this moment, like, what do I want to focus on? Well, like my friend Johnny said in response to my ramble on that Instagram post, said, you are needed in this world, Jessica. Thank you. And another friend of mine, Jorge Ivan / Ivy, they said similarly affirming things. That my work ethic mixed with the ways that I'm trying to figure out, human dynamics about being a leader versus being a chameleon, and not knowing anything in between the two. I seem to either know how to lead and be 100% in charge, like a solo career, or I accidentally, and same with when I'm working with people, or I accidentally become full chameleon and you won't even know who I am or what I want. And to find the gray between that, it's a really tough thing, But just to have that reflected back to me from someone I respect, who's also creating and moving through life in such an authentic way. And I'm not trying to say that that's better. It's like an artist thing. It's just an artist temperament to keep trying to find your ground. And other people are building the world. I might be building a world of ideas or of feelings, but other people are physically doing a lot of labor to build the world, or they're raising children, or they're doing things that maybe their own life experience makes it harder for them to see value in my life experience, because I know that that's true in the reverse for me. And so I just have to, for me, I pull my focus. I'm trying to learn to pull my focus off of those people, because when I just stare at those people, my heart and my trauma and everything just wants me to like try to get them to understand me more. But it's like, that's like, if you need validation in order to grow and to build yourself up, then seek out people that are similar to you. And that may be, for me, even it's just people who are kind and affirming. That's a big thing for me. Or people who, I don't know. Sorry, that song was kind of emotional for me. I don't know why I'm immediately talking and preaching like a little preacher warrior. Or no, Brian recently figured out what I was. This isn't real, but this is what we said. Rainbow, no, what was first? Unicorn. A unicorn princess warrior. And then he changed it to like unicorn warrior princess, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. I know that sounds more like the cartoon, but I'm not a warrior princess. I'm not that kind of person. I'm more like a unicorn princess, which is hiding in a little room writing songs or like talking to yourself in a car on a YouTube video. It's very like secluded. So unicorn princess, yes. And then I think we did say at the end rainbow warrior. But I think that can still be done kind of in seclusion. I'm very secluded. It's intentional. I seclude myself intentionally. I used to think that was something I had to get over, but now I think it's where my songs come from, and it's where my heart shifts, and it's where my mind gets clear. It's just a preference, just introversion, like how authors write books. An author who's writing 15 books and spends a lot of time at their own house doesn't constantly beat themselves up for not being more social. Like, they have a value in the world. Cool. Like, why is it taking me so long to realize that I can be different from others and still have a value in the world? And it's almost like I was given so many extroverts or so many more practically minded people as my main network at a young age. So it just took me a really long time to kind of, it didn't matter if they said I had value, it just took me a long time to kind of feel it for myself. Because I feel like I accidentally faked a lot of things. Partly from the trauma stuff that I talked about last week, but partly from just wanting to be liked or not wanting to be excluded. But if you admire people or you idolize people like I have as recently as just the last few years in Grand Rapids, if you idolize or admire people, you might accidentally think that means you should try to belong with them. If you're not anything like them, you don't have to try to change everything about who you are to fit in with them and to be like seen by them. You can just admire them and say, I really think those people are cool. I think they're cool. I think they're interesting. I think they're progressive. I think they're whatever you think about them. And same with like if I had known how to do that in middle school, you can look at them and be like, wow, those people are people that are like bright, shiny, cool things, whatever it is you think about them. And then you can think that thought, and then you have to almost intentionally turn around and be like, but I'm cool too, or but I like me too, even though I'm not as social, or even though I'm not as popular, or even though I'm not as like cool, weird, grungy rock band, whatever it is that you admire in other people. You don't have to become like them. I thought I did. I thought if I admired them that I had to become like them. And so then I tried really, 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 really hard. I didn't mean to do it either. That's the saddest part. I just kind of did it. I think I found a middle ground on that, actually. I tried to hold myself. I still wrote my lullaby songs and then sometimes my angry piano rockin' songs, but late. This place has been kind to me, kinder than I've been all over the place in my mind about what I need, what I'll find here, what I've found. It's not the same as what I thought I needed here, sitting in a parking lot, talking to myself, for the world to see if they want to, like I would have wanted me, like I would want me if I didn't know me. Here with my new fans from Japan and friends and Italy too. I'm afraid I won't grow the way I wanted you to be, so proud of me for growing into something big, like a big deal like all the names that just came into my mind, all the people who come to mind who've climbed lots of mountains that I haven't climbed. But I can see here that I've climbed so many invisible walls, and I've found my way. I've found my way out of mazes in the dark that were made up of books and other people's words. And my childhood mind just wanted to be safe or okay, like the end of a story, like a choose your own adventure where you went the right way. Here, this moment is so dear to me. I almost didn't have this moment because I have to call my sister Stephanie. She loves me, but she understands that if these things feel this way, unplanned, like light shining on a seed, and if your wings get in the way or they don't work one day, there's no need to explain. There's no need, there's no need, there's no need, there's no need to be perfect. There's no way to be perfect. There's no ending that you can make or create. It can't be perfect. Let go, 'cause you can't be perfect. Let go of that tension in your shoulders. Let go of that voice that's trapped in your throat. Let go of that tension in your fingers. Let go, let go, let go. Let go. Let go. I almost made up a funny line about, but don't let go of the tension in the left hand because that's holding down the chords. And then I was like, no, that's not a good line, but it was funny to me. That's what made me laugh right before I started singing like a puppy. Anyway, whew. All right, I should go mail these packages. Just wanted to honor that moment in time. Oh, and something to my friend Chad. We made up a song together. It's called Wonder, and it's on Friendship, and I believe it's track maybe 13. It's also on Friendship, volume 47, but it's, friend, space, ship, parentheses, to the sky, in your mind. And that was based off a song that I wrote in the 365 songs called Friendship, to the sky, in your mind. And it was actually a kind of sad song. It's also on there. that I wanted to learn to have friends. Anyway, that's a whole other ramble. But, I mean, it was about, like, not wanting to just be treated kindly by people if they needed something from me. Like, if I could help them manifest their dreams. And that had kind of became a theme at that time in 2017, where I was feeling like I could join the party if I, like, did something for people, or if I, even if that's in, like, an invisible dream world way. I felt like I was only loved if I was needed or useful. I don't know. It was a weird, I was wrestling with that. Because I think that's a very human sentiment, to feel like maybe we're only loved or lovable if we're useful and we're helpful and we're doing things for others, even if it's in, like, a psychological way, you know, or just in a communicative way, like lifting people up, building people up, helping them see the best in themselves. And it's like, I was very exhausted when I wrote that song, feeling like I want to have friends and I want to be a friend, but I don't want to only be a friend if you're just hitching a ride on my personal spaceship/friendship to the sky in your mind. And, you know, from a fan perspective, that's exactly what I want. Like, please hitch a ride. If this helps you, follow, like, subscribe, share, like, whatever. Like, from a fan perspective, that's exactly what I want to be and do. And I think at that time I was trying to learn how to draw boundaries around my energy, because at that time I wasn't being introverted and I wasn't believing that I was allowed to just take time for me, focus on my own album. At that time I felt like I had to go to every friend's show. I had to support every person's project. I had to support financially and with time, and I just felt very, very spread thin. And then that accidentally created a resentment in me, because I was feeling obligated to be so much for so many people, like internally obligated, like that's how you are a good person, is what I would tell myself. Then I started noticing the ways that other people weren't necessarily doing that for me, or they'd do it like one time and then not again for 4 years or something. And it was like, why don't I allow myself that same amount of grace, or I should say that same amount of space? Like, and it took me years after writing that song to realize that that's like a propensity. It's almost like but I had a magnetism to those people too. So friendship, that whole album and series, was incredibly selfish too. Like, I wanted to write a song with Jess Kramer and Tom Him. This is the CD that I've had of his. I gave them away to everyone who did the friendship with me. And I've had his in my car for the longest time. His real name's Chad, but he goes by Tom Him. If you've never listened to Tom Him's music, it's incredible. Really, really amazing. So I was a fan before we were friends, and we had played at some festivals together, Lamplight Music Festival specifically being the main one. Yeah. And they also do, like, percussion, or he does percussion for, like, Major Murphy, and that's a cool band. Anyway, and he used to do it for The Soil and the Sun, which is a huge influence and or just, like, band I loved that kind of kept me in the Grand Rapids area. Them and Breathe Out Breathe. I mean, I'm in Grand Haven, but my musical center, like my concept of why I was here, was based on Grand Rapids, not Grand Haven. And no offense to Grand Haven, but it's just coming from the Chicago music scene. Like, I didn't think I could stay here at all until I discovered Lamplight Music Festival. Our now friend, John Hansen, who releases music as Strawberry Heritage. But that whole world is a world that he kind of curated and created with friends, and it was just like, it's a house show festival, and I played it first as Just Can the Rainbow, first as out of me and my world. I mean, obviously I wasn't the first one, but I think it had been going a couple years already when I played it in 2015. I think it started maybe in 2012 or 2013. I think 2012, because I went for the first time in 2013, and then and I was like sobbing because I was like going through a divorce and all this stuff, and then 2014, I almost played it. In 2015, I did. And Hunter Zhao played with me on cello. Amazing. And Maddie and Daphne Jackson played with me. And I was like a real band, even though it was with, like, you know, former high school students that I had accompanied in their choir and stuff. Like, I felt like a real band because they were, like, phenomenal musicians. And so they learned all this stuff with me and played this music festival with me. And then 2 months later, you know, then I'm like out on artist residency and then wanting to like quit my job, or I did quit the job, that choir job, and then I wanted to like move to the Pacific Northwest, and then I didn't, and then yada yada yada. Anyway, kept staying in the area even though I got very confused about what I should do here, and then that festival is currently no more. And a lot of what was really bustling in Grand Rapids was starting to, like, that's a whole other long story, but that was, why am I on this? Oh, because Chad. Yeah. So I was really into Tom Him musically. Went to, like, his album release show and listened to his albums. And really was into this one. Oh, let's see if I can remember what it's called. Well, my favorite one that made me sob when I was on a road trip in Milwaukee, I was on a little tour and I listened to it constantly, is his album called Early Magic. So you can look up Early Magic. But the other one, I think it was something Tangerine Dream. I'm pretty sure that was the one I went to the CD release show of. Anyway, that's Chad. Oh, I'm accidentally showing his address. Shoot! Maybe I'll mute that out. I think it was really faint. I don't know. I'll try to check it. So I have to mail these international packages and the one to Chad. So, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say, I don't think. I'm just feeling really attached to this moment. And I already put it in a song. Like, maybe I'm feeling a fear. Like, once I'm not on the new and notable at Bandcamp, will any international people find me? Do I need international people to find me? Do I need to mail 50 more packages? Or can I be okay releasing digitally and having, one new fan or follower a year? Like, can I be okay with this hobbyist feeling thing, which isn't like a feeling of success like I guess I thought I wanted, or maybe feel like I still sometimes want? Like, it's very confusing to be alive and be an artist. Because I don't know that it's actually about how many others feel something for us. I don't know. I don't know if it's about others at all. Like, that's the part that just makes you feel valid, like you've been pat on the back. I think it's about being really in line with your own original and authentic path. But the path to the path, I think, is a very hard path to find the path. Because there's weeds, and there's mazes, and there's roadblocks. Oh my gosh, it's already 1 o'clock. I have to call my sister. Okay, bye. Mwah.